Men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Or like, fucking stupid. Like, you see, the thing is that, like, they always say, oh, we don't need them, we can do whatever they could do. Why don't you? Why don't you do that? They say, oh, it's all men dominant, even though we could do that, and we could be the dominant ones. The reason that it's men dominant is because you won't do it. Like, you say you could do it, but you don't, and the moment you have to, you say that you don't have to take orders from people, because you're an independent woman. That's just stupid. You get mad that it's men dominant, but that's only because you don't want to do it, and then biologically you need one as well. If men just went extinct, humans would go extinct. Because of the fact that there's all the jobs that won't be done. There's gonna be like a very small percentage of people even doing it. So you'd starve, you'd run out of power and money, and then you'd go extinct because of lack of reproduction. And it's just very stupid to say you don't need them at all. Like, they'd be like, oh, I don't need someone to hold the door for me. I can do that myself. I'm independent. And then go, he's not opening the door for me. That is very rude. And, like, yeah, I could do that all by myself. Hey, can you do it for me? The fuck is that?
Hey, bestie!
Shut the fuck up.
You're wrong. I think it's time for another adult pre-K lesson. What do you think? All right, turn your listening ears on. Zoop, catch a bubble in your mouth. Good job.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, here's the thing. Having a preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayaking, or wakes up early in the morning, or loves pizza.
Of course you would. Look, that's a preference. Describing it like that is just a very broadened version of it. Preference is just what you prefer. You can't just say if what you prefer in a small group of things. No, it's a preference because of what you prefer. That's why the words are so similar. It's just in general.
But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic.
Having a preference of a person liking pizza can still technically exclude many people, such as people who are lactose intolerant, allergic to dairy, on a diet. That's technically outcasting a giant group of people, you know? It really just depends. What's the type of form of group of people you're thinking about? There's no real way to classify. It's just in general, really, so...
That's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals, that's fatphobic. Just like lumping all people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what I'm saying?
To be fair, a preference, like saying you have a type, is just like, can mean anything, really. So if you prefer someone who likes kayaking, if you prefer someone who's not in a wheelchair, like, those are still things you prefer, even though they are still on very different scales. And, like, some people would say it's problematic to have a preference that excludes a certain race, and it's very hard to describe it, but it's still what you describe. I mean, prefer. And, but, I don't know, like, even some people might have a preference for a specific reason. It's not just like their brain goes, oh, I don't like how that thing looks. No, like, someone might say that, because a big thing is many people probably wouldn't like someone that's disabled because it might be a bit difficult. Like, I have a friend with, cerebral palsy, and good guy, but every once in a while I'm just like, I have no clue what you said. And that's normal. I'm used to just asking, what'd you say? The whole thing. I wouldn't prefer to be with someone like that, because that just makes things difficult. Like, I've seen like conversations like that where someone said they don't want to be with someone in a wheelchair because like they might like running, and then with someone in a wheelchair, they'll be very slow. They're not gonna really be able to do that. It's someone that they deserve by like their preference and stuff other than people might be like not go very well with people they like. So and that's just like one part they said really, but like it's really just about what the actual person likes, whether it's just like something that just comes to mind or if it has a real reason, like in their backstory or something.
Problem is that I told you to come at 2 p.m. and you came at 2:04, 4 minutes late. I'm not used to this kind of delay. For me, it's not possible, to have a relationship where my partner is not showing up on time.
Waiting a little bit is not that much of an inconvenience. It was 4 minutes. That's a very small number. It's not that long of a wait. Imagine if they showed up at 3. Like, that's only an hour. You think that it's very small. And it's even smaller because it's only 4 minutes. Even though you could say you waited a while for an hour, at least it wasn't. Because 4 minutes is not that long. You can wait a little bit. You waited for 4 minutes, meaning that if it was like at an actually long amount of time, you would have left. So that just shows how small of a number it was for you to literally stay there and actually wait. Like, 4 minutes late. That is not that much. Why is he so angry about that? Incredibly strict. Let's show up at exactly 2 o'clock and not be late by any minute. What? It's a very small amount of time. Like, imagine how small the number 1 is. 1 minute is very small. The number 1 is very small. Number 4 is very small. You get 4 minutes. You get a slightly larger, small amount of time. It's not that hard to understand. It's not that much of a problem.